Hello and welcome! Silrace here with Mechwarrior Online. Today I have 2 drops of Hunchback 4G gameplay for your viewing pleasure. So, with some of the balancing changes to the AC-20 and even medium lasers got a little bit of love, I decided to bring this thing out of hibernation and give it a whirl again. Because for quite some time, if I wanted to bring an AC-20 Mech, I would have brought something else than a Hunchback 4G with an AC-20. And more likely would have also brought an LB-20 instead of an AC-20. But I really wanted to give this a whirl again, see if it actually is playable. And if you are wondering about this build, and yes, this is Rubelite Oasis. If you're wondering about this build, this is a little bit of a mashup of stuff which I just basically cobbled together to get this thing out on the field. It is not perfected. For example, I have way too much ammo. There is basically no battle anywhere where I can expend 35 shots of an AC-20 rounds. Probably drop a ton of ammo. Probably lower the AMS ammo down to half a ton. Okay, there is somebody who wants an AC-20 shell into the face. And possibly play around with the lasers as well. Now, this is where I would have had a shot, but my shot was blocked by my teammates, so that's fine. But I will happily poke with an AC-20 against basically everybody still. Even though heavy gauge rifles are now in the game and they are essentially better than the AC-20 in most regards, AC-20 is still one of those very good poking and peeking and poking guns, because heavy gauge rifles still have the charge mechanic of a gauge rifle, and while you can charge while you're coming around a corner. And this is me missing a bunch of shots, not being all that used to the AC-20. You can charge the heavy gauze while you're going around corner to be able to fire the moment you come around the corner. That requires a lot more fire discipline and a lot more, being better at the game. Let's put it that way. And also, if your timing is a little off, you can screw it up, so on. Whereas with the AC-20, you pick a corner, you can fire the AC-20. Except if your AC-20 gets critted out and you die. So, yeah, that was not very spectacular. That was not. However, it got something done. Got a few hundred points of damage done. Now let's briefly talk about the a few things I have for this build, which are well, came to me as I was playtesting this, playing some rounds with it, and so on. One of those things is that I will probably be better off dropping one of those medium lasers, the left arm one, and using left arm entirely as a shield, and upgrading the head and the right arm ones into medium pulse lasers. In that instance, this basically becomes a Yenlo Wang, because you have 2 medium pulse lasers and an AC-20, except your AC-20 is in the shoulder. That is probably the better build to do here. However, I have to say I quite like the symmetry of having the 3 medium lasers and an AC-20. Having a medium laser in each arm. So I will probably play around with the laser setup on this, and very likely drop at least 1 ton of ammo and maybe even half ton of the AMS ammo and upgrade the engine. I kind of want to keep the AMS, or at least at the time I was playing this, I wanted to keep the AMS because bloody heck did I run into a bunch of missiles for some reason or another. So here we have things. Now for Tourmaline Desert here, and the first map was Rubelite Oasis, in case you missed that name, you probably know that. Anyway, whatever. I don't usually like to come here, but I saw my team pushing this way. I was like, okay, maybe we can get something done here. But in all honesty, this is the Valley of Death. At least that's what I tend to call it. This is not where I typically want to be at all. Because pushing out of here if the opposing team has any sort of a firing line up here, up there, pushing out of that little valley is really difficult. Half times even impossible. However, there is no firing line here right now, so can get out of here, or rather out of there, out of that valley, and can get into some kind of a flanking situation, if you want to call it that. However, right now I really only know where like 2 or 3 enemy mechs are, so can I call this a flank? I don't bloody well know. Maybe? There we go, there is somebody for me to shoot at. Okay, that's a lot of things for me to shoot at, and all of them obviously start shooting at me, because I am suddenly the only damn thing here. Yeah, so much for this being a flank, right? I am right now the dang front line, and everybody else is the flank. So, yeah. However, now I have a little bit of teammates, so we can actually shoot at stuff, and somehow that thing is also shooting at me instead of all these damn teammates between me and that, which is funny. But anyway, give me targets for my AC-20, and yeah, give me targets for this AC-20. Yeah, if the opponents are shooting at somebody else than me, that AC-20 does a lot of work. Does a whole lot of work if you can fire freely. Welcome to using your teammates as ablative armor, I suppose. But that's just how things somehow happens, and I managed to actually nab a kill with this thing. And it was done with the lasers after softening things up with the AC-20. But yeah, as I mentioned, I do have to mess around with this build a little bit, in the sense that I want to try a few different lasers. I'll see if I can run a couple other different lasers instead of just 3 mediums. That would be interesting. We'll have to play around with that, so to say. However, this game is pretty much done here. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was enjoyable, and I will see you folks next time with more Mechwarrior Online.